Okay, welcome back to another Wheel of Time video. The last couple of videos on my channel, you were watching me have a conversation with Bree about our speculations, mostly her speculations, on what we think is going to happen in Season 2 of the Wheel of Time. This video, a little different. It's your theories. Or, well, those of you who shared your theories with me. I asked people in my Discord server, I posted on my community tab, and of course, I've seen some people's theories in the comments. So some of these I have seen, most of them I have not. Like, I deliberately avoided that channel in my Discord, and I have not read most of the things in the community post because I wanted to, I wanted my reactions to be as genuine as possible. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be. It's me going over those of you who posted theories about what you think is coming up in the next season of the show. So I don't know what the spoilers are going to be. I'm going to let future me tell you now. All right, the spoilers in this video, we are going all the way to the end of the series. So sorry, I should have known. You guys are as bad as me, although it was mostly me responding to your theories and taking it full spoilers. So, okay. I'm sorry. And yeah, as I am continuing to do, please support the WGA and SAG-AFTRA in their struggle, basically, to be paid, compensated for their work in the changing landscape with streaming and with AI. Everything has changed, and yet the model, the way that they are compensated is not, and it is not keeping up with basically their ability to maintain a living wage. And of course, AI, it's a little frightening, some of the things that the studios have asked in this. So yeah, if you can, please consider donating to the Entertainment Community Fund that allows them and helps the people striking to be able to maintain an income while they fight for their basic rights. So if you can, please consider donating. And with that, let's get into it.
Let's be nerdy, babe. Let's be nerdy, let's be nerdy. Let's be nerdy, babe. Let's be nerdy, babe. Let's be nerdy, let's be nerdy, babe.
Okay, so I thought I'd start in my Discord server. So just going over the theories that I see here. The first theory I'm seeing is from Fudgy Vamp. Hello, Fudgy Vamp. They say Lanfear with the fire around Rand is her pulling him back from the giant statue in Kyrian. Ooh. Okay, that is a yeah, the Children Call is a pretty big deal, right? So okay, that is interesting. That's a possibility. I do feel like those weaves are coming from her. I've said that a couple of times. It's just something, I'm not sure. There might be taint. I'm not, if there's taint in there, it's not as clear as when like Rand's channeling the fire, right? So I don't know if there's taint, but it's not even just that. It's the way those weaves seem to ensnare around him makes them look ominous, right? So I do think it's her, and I could see that. Yeah, her pulling him back from that giant statue. That's interesting. The next Fudgy Vamp prediction, same thing. Happy Parent is Nynaeve's accepted test. That was one of Bree's theories. There's been a lot of theories about what that is. Whatever Happy Parent is scares the crap out of me. All right, Waterholic Aussie. We discover the world of dreams in Season 2. Okay, first of all, Waterholic Aussie. Did I meet you at WalkCon? I think I met you at WalkCon. But we discover the world of dreams. I was talking about this today with somebody. I do think that the world of dreams has to come up, right? Like, oh, I don't want to say anything is going to make the show ruined for me, but the world of dreams is so important. So we need to, I really want it to be a part of it. And I do think my theory is that is what the Love Shack Tehran Grail is. It's not, they're not traveling to another location. They're opening a door into Tel'aran'rhiod. That's my theory on what that is. There's just something dreamy about the lighting and everything in that location. So I do think the world of dreams is going to be a part of the show, and I think, yeah, we need to be introduced to it as soon as possible. All right, Pilks. We get a musical bubble of evil. Dear, is this like Ella once more with feeling like Buffy the Vampire Slayer? That would be really, really funny. I am a lover of musicals. So sorry, going into my body there, I would be here for this. It would be crazy. It would be, no, but also I would really enjoy it. This is going to be a bit of a tangent here, but that's stuff like that, like a musical bubble of evil. Okay, I don't think it would be appropriate for this show, but stuff like those sorts of episodes were things that happened a lot when we had longer seasons. There's a lot that we've lost with like the move to streaming, like that, you know, talking about the writer's strike. We've lost these longer seasons where writers, you know, could work on a show for for a full year. They would have a year's worth of job and possibly, you know, 5 years worth. The shortening the seasons and shortening the run of shows means you don't have time for just like, let's make a fun episode that doesn't really necessarily have to be super serious because we have 22 other episodes to be really serious. We can be fun with this one. We don't get that anymore. This golden age of television that everybody refers to. I do agree we are in a really good age of television. So I'm very glad Walk on a TV show and not a movie, but there is something has been lost in this transition. All right. You know what? Okay. There's something I didn't think about when I said I was going to do that. A lot of people who I see in my Discord, I recognize their names. Like I know I see their name and I know who they are. Never said their name out loud. Okay. Toffee Stedeth. Happy parent is a flicker. That is another theory that I think is a possibility. And like I said, there's every possibility of that disturbs me. If it's 9 News accepted test, then, you know, that's happy parent that she has to abandon knowing that he's like unhappy in this world because his wife died. Or like happy parent is flicker. Well, yeah, again, this is probably revealing a possibility where his wife didn't die and maybe had a baby and blah, blah, blah. That is, oh, okay. Ooh, Fudgy Vamp again. Leandrin thinks she isn't being followed, but Varen is following her. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. I am like going all in on that is her on her way to the Waygate with the girls. Just, I've said it over and over again. It's the look on her face. The look on her face when she turns, she just does this thing with her eyes that maybe it's like the teacher in me. I don't know, but I recognize it just as a like, and in my mind, it's directed at Elaine. It's fully directed at Elaine. And I love Elaine. I don't mean that like any, but I feel like Elaine would not be taking this as seriously as the other girls because the stakes aren't as high for her, right? And so she's just like, woo, yay. And Leandrin's like, That's what I'm getting from that expression. This is interesting though, because I do think we're getting Varen this season, right? Okay, speaking of Varen, Beth Domon's theory. Varen replaces Adelius and Vandene. Moraine takes Varen's place. Ooh, in pursuit of Rand. Okay, so I just realized Beth has 4 theories here. So let's start with this one. Varen replaces Adelius and Vandene. I can see that. We are going to have to cut down on characters. There's like over 2,400 named characters. Several of them are we are going to have to cut them down. I can totally see Varen replacing Adelius and Vandene and maybe, okay, so Moraine's gone to see Varen somehow. And then Moraine takes Varen's place in pursuit of Rand. When does Varen pursue Rand? Okay, Varen chases after the horn, but Rand isn't there. Okay, that's right. Sorry, I was just like, Rand, she isn't chasing Rand, she's with Matt and Perrin. But she's with Matt and Perrin because Rand's off in the flicker or the Mirrorverse. Okay, so, that's interesting. But I do think Rand and Moraine are together in Kyrian. But you know what? There is a journey to Kyrian that could happen. So, okay, that's interesting. Okay, Beth Domon's next theory. Layla was pregnant in season 1, and the girl laughing that Perrin is chasing is her unborn daughter. Okay, this goes back to, like, this is possibly a Flickerverse, or, yeah, that is one of those heartbreaking possibilities that just, sorry. Number 3 of Beth Domon's theories. Lanfear is not wearing a hood. I am going to make a confession here on the internet for all to see. I'm team hair. If you know, you know. If you're not on Twitter or time, you don't know what that means. I'm saying that on Lanfear's head, that's hair. Number 4. Bail Domon has a key that unlocks the Horn of Valyr's chest. Huh. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed Bail Domon is in this season, right? So that's an interesting possibility. Like, would that be one of his things that he's collected over the years, one of his ancient artifacts or something? So it's not like just Turok knowing how to open it. Bail Domon is there somehow. Ooh, that's an interesting possibility. How do I feel about that? I don't know how Bail Domon is going to be introduced. Like this, I have no theories on how he would be introduced. Would he just like maybe be there with Turok, like already having met him? But then no, I want to know him before he's with the show. that is an interesting possibility because yeah, that's something I actually haven't thought of. How Bail Domon is going to be introduced. All right, Ring and Raven. Fire Sword Dude is Bilal. Bilal? So wait. First of all, Bilal is going to be in the show. Sorry. Bilal, you know, you tried. You really tried. But, like, you showed up and then you got bail fired. So, but I can't. If they're cutting down the Forsaken, Bilal would be, like, top of my list to cut. Like, just, not that Moraine bail firing him isn't, like, a badass moment, but he's just, like flick him off the table. Like, whatever. But also, why would Bilal be stabbing a Myrddraal? Like, they're on his team. Unless he's trying to trick Rand? Like, do you think the sword is Callandor? But then if Bilal has Callandor, that's a bad situation. I want more information about this theory. I'm just gonna say I don't think this is right. I don't think this theory is right, but I'm also very curious about all of the like, what world have you created in which Bilal has a fire sword and is in the show somehow and is poking a Myrddraal? Like, why is he fighting a Myrddraal? Ooh, another one of these names I don't know how to pronounce. Zetterog. Okay, Zetterog. Logain replaces Asmodean. I should have said this in one of the in the conversation with Brie. I think this is a very real possibility. I do, or not, okay, because I do think Asmodean is going to be in the show, but because he has like a significant role, like Asmodean isn't a small, like he isn't a Bilal, let's just say. And also, do you remember those statues of the Forsaken that Steppen was, what do you call it, lighting candles to or whatever? One of them had a guitar. So I think one of them is Asmodean, right? Like that's, or some sort of musical instrument, a stringed instrument. So I think that is definitely Asmodean. But I could see Logain sort of being a precursor to Asmodean, because Logain would not be an adequate teacher. He can't channel anymore, but he could verbally give some guidance, because somebody somewhere, I think in one of the comments, we are going to need to have some information about the male half of channeling, because in season 2 we're going to get instruction on Saidar through the girls in the White Tower, but we're not going to know anything about Saidin. So, and you know, we do in the book, we do get some, like, not instruction, that's the wrong word, we get some experience of Rand channeling Saidin, but because we're in his head, we can understand what's happening. The show can't really, it's much more difficult to do that. I shouldn't say can't, but like, yeah, it's much more difficult for them to do that. But having Logain there to give some instruction prior to meeting somebody who can actually teach him, like Asmodean. So I'm with you, like 50-50 on this. Like, I think he could be like a, you know, channeling 101 and then advanced channeling with Asmodean next year. Fudgy Vamp back again. Okay. Fire Sword Dude is white-haired guy in the garden who is Barthanes. Barthanes is one of the, like, I don't know, that's a name that I've had in my head for that white-haired dude. Like the one that we saw walking. And I think that, I don't know, but look, a lot of men have white hair. Like, it doesn't have to be that guy, but it's the only person we've seen. So for some reason, I'm sure well, obviously I'm not the only one. I'm connecting these two people in my head, right? So, okay. And that location does feel kind of gardeny, so I can totally see that. I can see this. Again, though, I mean, he doesn't have to be a Dark Friend. It's just weird. Why would he have a fire sword? And why would Barthanes be fighting a Myrddraal? They're all on the same team. Okay, Fudgy Vamp's next sentence here. Padden Fane dies. Okay. Rafe has said that people are going to die in the show that don't die in the books. And that, yes, I am for that. I say that, it's going to break my heart, I'm sure, for some of them, but I'm for that. I think surprising us is necessary. Also, again, a lot of characters in this story. They don't, and Robert Jordan, like, there's a conservative, like, he keeps characters. Characters show up in, like, book 2 and then don't show up until, like, book 11. Like, you know, you can't really do that with actors. So killing them, and it makes sense. It makes sense. Also, you know, it's harder. It'll surprise us. Padden Fane. Huh. Wow. Padden Fane is a significant character. He has things to do in the story. So, That's an interesting one because okay, the reason I'm hemming and hawing on this one because I know I'm not alone. In and like Brandon Sanderson has even said that like Paddon Fane could have ended, it could have done more in the story. His ending was not particularly satisfying. So you know the story can end without him. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the he does not pack as much of a punch as he could. I would rather, this is a possibility, I'm not discounting it. I would rather the show used him in the way that he could have been used. Like, I think I've said this in a video of mine ages ago. It's one of the wrong theories I had. Because I read the Wheel of Time, like, pretty much right on the heels of reading Eye of the World, or reading Lord of the Rings, I should say, I thought Paddon Fane was going to Gollum it. I thought Paddon Fane was going to show up and, like, do something to probably try to kill Rand or something in the last battle and accidentally seal the bore because he does have a different, he's evil, but he's not evil like the Dark One. So he has something else going on. And I thought some sort of combination of him and like what Rand was doing was going to accidentally permanently for this turning of the wheel, permanently seal the bore again. Like a Gollum. That to me would have been satisfying. Other people have said that they thought he was going to become the next Dark One. That would have been satisfying. Like there's other things that could have been done with him that to me would have been satisfying, whereas his end in the books to me just feels like So I would prefer it be fixed than to have him eliminated. All right, we have Sith. Sith says all of season sorry. All of season 2 turns out to be one slice of a flicker. No! I'm assuming you're joking because no! Okay, so just coming here, there's a bit of a conversation happening here in the Discord about who the white-haired guy with the fire sword. We got Ring and Raven coming in saying, it's Tom doing a surprise entry with a sword Rand set on fire. That's another more likely theory. That is an interesting theory that I don't think is happening because I'm pretty sure it's kind of been confirmed. Sorry that Tom is not going to be in season 2. I think he's going to be in season 3, but I don't think he is in season 2. So, okay, Fudgy Vamp has so many theories. Matt will explode something. Yes. 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 Ooh, this is, okay. Corsuvra here. Not a theory really, but a hope. We get some flicker scenes as a bonus a la the original shorts. Oh, that would be so nice. Okay, like do you know the origin shorts, not the original shorts, the origin shorts. Because I feel like, again, this is one of those things that I wish we had longer seasons because I would love an entire episode that was just flicker because I think that scene deserves an entire episode and we could go through different characters, flicker, like back and forth. It would be a really, really amazing episode. I think that if you reduce it down to like a scene or a couple of scenes, I'm not a writer. I'm not somebody who puts, like I say this all the time, I'm not an expert in this field. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I can't imagine that if you shorten it to like, oh, this is like a 5-minute whatever, that it would have the same impact. I don't know. But if you had like a longer season, it could be an entire episode. But getting some flicker seasons like the Origins, oh, that would be so good. So good. Speaking of the Origins, Fudgy Vamp coming in again. They release an Origins sometime in August, even if it's just 5 minutes before season 2 drops in September. If you're not in the know, Rafe announced last year that the Origins were coming out in August. He meant August of 2022. It is August, it's like almost the end of August now, or the end of July. It is August, by the time you're seeing this, it is August of 2023, and those Origins have still not come out. Okay, Coder Ben. Falma will be wrapped up near the end of the season, but Ishii will portal away to Tyr, leading to the Dragon Reborn finale. Okay, so in this scenario, we have basically they're combined, right? Like, Falma, and then just suddenly we go to Tyr and then have that battle. And then I guess I'm assuming Rand gets Kalendor at that time. That is interesting. Obviously you wrote this a couple of days ago and Bree has given her whole outline of Tyr coming later in the story. Like season 4, I think she has it. Which I really like the way she's outlined it. this is interesting. I was personally seeing like specifically the explosions with with what looks to me like Aiel flying away from the explosions. Very much reads to me like that is the Stone of Tyr. I don't, because of what she said, I'm not sure that we will get the Stone of Tyr, like that whole Dragon Reborn battle, because I do think her outline makes so much sense. But it still looks like the Stone of Tyr to me, so I don't know. This is an interesting idea. This is an interesting theory. Korsuver again. There will be some anachronism displayed in the Heroes of the Horn. So like something from like our world, like some sort of hero known to us. Who would that be? Like, can you get like, who would you suggest the anachronism would be in the Heroes of the Horn? Fudgy Vamp again. The Ocean Waygate is in Tyr, since the Jungle Waygate is in Falma. The Ocean Waygate. Have you seen the Waygate by the ocean? There's, been a lot of like leaks, and not just leaks, but like set photos and whatever. So I don't know this Ocean Waygate you're talking about. But if there's two and they're both by the water, then yeah, I would imagine one of them is Tyr and one of them is Falma, which then would mean that we probably are going to both cities. Okay, Coder Ben again. Lanfear will... Ooh, this is interesting. Lanfear will do the new clothes thing for Rand, not Moraine. This is interesting. Okay, the way I could see this happening, like Rand has gone off on his own, right? And Moraine is in Faldara dealing with the, I can't channel. Somehow she ends up in Cairhien. Maybe like replacing Varen, chasing him down, because she ends up in Cairhien. He has been with Lanfear all that time. Yeah, because she gets the new clothes for him in Faldara in the books. She's not, like, he's not there to do that. So unless, like, he's traveling... Oh, I don't know. This works. This really works, actually. I can see this. And that is definitely something Lanfear would do. Like, she would definitely put some fancy clothes on him, so... Fudgy Vamp again. Rand gets kidnapped by a Mirror World Amerlin who tries to gentle him. I think that makes perfect sense. In a Flickerverse, like in a flick. If we get Flicker, that, yeah, I think that would definitely happen. Longstrider. Matt's memory holes are established. Yeah. Ooh, that works. Yeah, like he's not remembering things already. I like this. Longstrider again. I think we get accepted test and Tar, like Tel'aran'rhiod, but not mirror Flicker worlds in season 2. That's too many alternate realities in a short time. If we get Flicker, it will come later. That's interesting. You're right. Because it's 3. The accepted test, we get Tel'aran'rhiod and then Flicker. That's 3. Ooh. Flicker is so good. But the other 2 are more... Okay, I wouldn't want to say they're more important, because Flicker, I think, is seminal in the story. Like, it changes... some things, obviously, in Tar and Rand, but it changes, like, Matt's perspective on certain things. It changes Perrin's perspective on certain things. So a Flicker, I think, is a seminal moment, but Tel'aran'rhiod is necessary for the entire story. Like, we need to establish Tel'aran'rhiod if it is a part of the show, which, please let it be a part of the show. And we know that there's going to be the accepted test. Like, we've seen that already in the trailer. So that's one that's out of the way. So, yeah. Oh, this. Yeah. Okay. Longstrider still. We get a bunch of Ishii and Lanfear, but only hints at the other Forsaken. Yes, I agree with this. I really like Bree's idea that, okay, we have another character that is, like, introduced, and we don't really know anything about them. And then, like, in a cold open, maybe in the last episode or something, we see back in the Age of Legends, and there is that person in the Age of Legends, and we go, ah! Like, this person's been a Forsaken the entire time. Like, that would be awesome. And I personally would love it if that was Mulgedian. Okay. G-Vamp, man. All right. Swan is actually in the White Tower. She didn't make Egwene and Elaine carry her throne to Cairhien. She just made them carry it up and down 80 flights of stairs to get it to a different room on the same floor, because it doesn't fit through any of the doorways, except for those 2 rooms, and the doors to a massive dual staircase in the core of the tower that makes you go all the way up before you can switch to the other stair and go down. I am still banking that room from the trailer is in Cairhien. It just, with the sun motif just all over the place, it's very, very Cairhien. I saw or heard, I don't know, too many conversations, someone suggesting that it was like an embassy, maybe? All right, we have Noman Garden here. Both Happy Parent and Flaming Sword are flickers. Okay. This is presuming that we get the Flickerverse. Flaming Sword is Old Rand. Huh. Similar to the version that joined the Andorran Queen's Guard. Wow. I don't think he was that old, like red or gray hair or whatever in the Queen's Guard, but maybe like the whole body rotting thing, maybe he just ages older. Like, 'cause I'm pretty sure his hair was gray, right? So, but that is an interesting possibility, because I don't like, you don't live that long if you're a male channeler. You die. Okay, we've got Sometimes Tactless Stan here. Jenny brought up, I brought up how the fog and haze are features of mirror worlds or Teleranriad. It's also what precedes the Heroes of the Horn. So even though that group of riders galloping in the mist are probably White Cloaks, and I think they are, but okay, I'm going to hold out hope that it's from that scene somehow. If you know, you know, because yeah, they are riding through a fog. I think that the, what do you call it? The alt text for the trailer called them White Cloaks, though. I'm sorry. Corsouvra. Sorry. Hugh Jackman's cameo seems out of place, but with the change to the Sean Chan fingernails, it fits right in. Yeah. So who? Okay, is it Turok or Suroth? Fudgy Vamp. Brigida casting will be revealed in episode 8. So this is presuming, of course, that that's when happens, right? Right, and so Brigida would show up at that point. Oh. Yeah, this is one of those things that you could do in a book, right? Like Brigida would show up in that episode, and then Brigida becomes a character. Well, she becomes kind of a character, like she shows up in Teleranriad, I think, in book 4, right? So season 3. Okay, so she would be around for season 3, and then of course from book 5 on, she's like a main character. So yeah, that works. Joe Berlin here. At some point, Turok uses his good fingernail covering thingy to kill someone. Ooh. I like that as a theory. That is, and like, that would be so cool. I can see him doing it without even thinking, just sort of like poking, like slicing someone's neck or like poking them through the heart or something. And then not even like looking at them while he does it. It doesn't matter because they're not people. They're like his possessions. Ooh, I like that. Dana, Azul. Matt leaves Tarvalin on Bail Domon's boat. Okay. So would Matt have like had his whole, like he'd been healed? Would it be like a luck night and then he goes off on the boat? I like this as a, like, this would be bringing Bail Domon into the story that way. And of course, getting Matt to Falma. Like maybe Matt, the girls leave and then Matt hears where they've gone and now, or he hears about Rand. I don't know. I like this. This is interesting. But okay, it's followed right by Fudgy Vamp again. Elaine and Nynaeve leave Falma on Bail Domon's boat. Okay. So Matt leaves Tarvalin on Bail Domon's boat, I guess gets to Falma, and then Elaine and Nynaeve leave Falma on Bail Domon's boat, which is what they tried or planned to do in the book, and then they didn't because, you know, a bunch of stuff happened and Bail Domon eventually had to leave. That's one of my favorite things, by the way. It's like, it's set up and then it just doesn't happen because of events like that stop it from happening. Robert Jordan's books, like, were the first books that I read where that sort of thing happened, where you, like, you set something up, and so you're pretty sure, like, oh, all the pieces are in place, and then those pieces don't happen because it's not realistic. Like, there's a battle happening, explosions, we never made it to the boat. And I love that it's like a thing that Bail Domon carries with him of just, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to help you in that moment. Like, but okay, this would be like fulfilling that promise in the show that he tried to fulfill in the books. I like that. That's a cool theory. Toffee Steadeth again. Rand looking all serious business. I was like, serious business? I don't know how to read that. Serious business in the hallway as Cat crosses the courtyard on the way to speak with Swan. Yeah. Okay, Kate here. The scene of Happy Perrin and the child is from Nynaeve's accepted test. Okay, that's a theory that other people have put forward, but she adds, and the kid is sick and she has to leave them behind, leaving to the screaming in the trailer. Oh, ooh. Yeah, I do think like she's going to have to leave something behind, right? Like something horrible, something that she could have fixed if she'd stayed. Corsouvra. Oh, wow, how did I not think of this? Rand tied to the giant wheel is one of Egwene's dreams. I was, in my mind, it had to be one of Rand's dreams. I don't know why I hadn't even considered Egwene's dreams. That works really, really well, yes. Okay, Noman Garden. Bloody hands, Nynaeve. Okay, so this is when Nynaeve comes out and her hands are covered in blood. What she's holding and drops is Lan's Hidori. Her 3 tests pass. Nynaeve grows up with her family instead of being raised by the wisdom. Lenore's casting. Who's Present. Okay, Winter Night. Yes, where she tries to prevent and stop it but can't. That's the, yeah, when she like explodes with the Trollocs. And then the future, Lan dies messily. And that's his Hidori. Oh my gosh. Oh. Fudgy Vamp again. Sweaty, sexy sword form Lan dies because he's accepted test Lan. Okay. All right. So there's, you know, in some of the teasers we've seen of like shirtless Lan, that would be accepted test Lan. And he dies, and maybe like using Nomen Gardens comes out, like Nynaeve comes out with his Hidori. Ah, it's horrible. And then Fudgy Vamp goes on to say, that or sweaty, sexy sword form Lan is giving Rand terrible life advice that sounds strong and manly. Yeah, that's what he does. That's just Lan. Lan needs therapy. I mean, everybody in this book needs therapy, but yes. Lan does not give good life advice. Continuing with Fudgy Vamp's theories, the wagon right in front of Leandrin belongs to Pat and Fane. I did not notice the wagon, but I've seen some people pointing it out. That is a possibility. I am still banking on them going to, like, the more I say it, the stronger I get. Like, I was saying 70, then I think I said 90%. I'm like at 95 that they're going to the Waygate, but okay, that could definitely be Pat and Fane's wagon. Fudgy Vamp's next prediction, Leandrin's necklace is magic? It could be a Terangrial or a Sangreal or an Angreal. It's possible. Sorry, next one. Moraine will make fun of Swan's Popat. Yeah, sure. I mean, I've seen a lot of people making fun of it. Moraine could totally do it. Rapunzel follows this up with, then Swan chases her around and that's why it's crooked. Swan-nanigans. It's just slightly askew, so yeah, maybe. Okay, Fudgy Vamp again. Swan and Moraine in blue isn't a flashback, it's a flicker that one of them sees. Now, this is because, okay, borrowing from a theory above that Moraine replaces Varen in chasing Rand, she would be with him when the Flickerverse happens, so that could happen. Ooh, that's an interesting possibility. It's not one admittedly, I don't think it's particularly likely, but I like that as a possibility. And if it doesn't happen, I kind of want to see a fanfic of it. And then Fudgy Vamp's final one, at least that I'm seeing here. Elaine, as the Terangrial expert, will remove the Idom from Egwene, particularly since they don't come off until death. That's something that was in one of the articles, in which case it will take more study than Nynaeve just channeling air and popping the latch open. Yeah, so that is a possibility I can totally see. Now, also, I mean, just, you know, Nynaeve's my girl, right? There's no, you point Nynaeve at a problem, something that everybody says is impossible, and she eventually figures it out. Like, she's healing Stilly, she's healing madness, you know, she's doing things with healing that nobody's ever thought of before. She balefired before we even knew what balefire was in the story. Like, Nynaeve does some pretty impossible things, so she could do the impossible. It doesn't just have to be Elaine, but I like that as a possibility too. That is a cool possibility. I also, I'm actually seeing Wadaholic Ozzy say this here, be a skeptic about what you read. The article could be misled. Like, I can see the Soldam telling and saying that to the Damani, and the Damani completely believing it because they have no way to take those things off. So yeah, of course they would believe that. Like, it could be a lie that everyone believes because nobody questions it. All right, so that is the first half of this video. I ended up recording for longer than I thought and just thought I'd cut it up at a pretty natural point because all of those were comments and predictions from my Discord server. The next video will be the comments that I got on, like, YouTube. So beware, or prepare. Beware of that? Why would you beware? Are you scared? Anyway, it's just, you know, look out for that video. But let me know your thoughts on this one, on these predictions. Do you have any further predictions? I don't know, just let me know in the comments below. And if you like my content and you want to support me, I do have a Patreon. It is also linked in the description below. Thank you so much to my patrons. Your support truly, really does mean the world to me. So thank you so much. And with that, I am going to end this here. So please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!